Hey, what's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And tonight we're going to be talking about these new charges that R. Kelly just got hit with. Now he is being charged with bribing an official to get a fake ID so that he can marry Aaliyah. So I've been covering this all year. I've done interviews with a lot of people from R. Kelly's past. I've even done interviews with the man who says that he was in charge of obtaining the ID or the fake ID for Aaliyah. And I've been in communication with a couple of different people, and I've been covering this and bringing you guys up to speed along the way. Well, now they're giving him new charges, and these new charges are that they are charging him with bribing officials for trying to obtain this fake ID 25 years later. Now, the situation with Aaliyah, it happened 25 years ago. And so now they're coming up and they're like, yo, 25 years later, we see that you have these other things, and now we're going to even go as far as to charge you with this too. And, they're just stacking it and stacking it and stacking it. So I have not read through the article yet, but I'm going to read through it with you guys. If I mess up, I mess up. It is what it is. I'm just reading this on the fly, and I'm going to show you this on the fly. But before I read you guys the article, so, hold on one second. Okay. So this is the article right here. It says R. Kelly has been charged with bribing an official for the fake ID that allowed 15-year-old Aaliyah to marry him. Well, like I said, I'm gonna read this article with you guys. But before I read through this article, I want to refresh your memory from the time that I interviewed his road manager at the time, who talked about the process on which and what happened when this situation happened or whatever. Sorry, I'm tongue tied, but so I'm going to refresh your memory with the interview I did with his road manager, where his road manager says that he's the one who got the ID. He explained his involvement with the situation and everything like that. And then I'm going to come back and read this article to see exactly what it is. But when I skimmed through it a little bit, it looks like they have... You remember, well, I don't know, those of you guys who have been following along this whole situation through my channel, there was Jane Doe 1, Jane Doe 2, Jane Doe 3, and there were 3 different individuals listed on the charges that he had. Well, now it's being revealed that Jane Doe 1 is Aaliyah. So Aaliyah is amongst the charges that he's being charged with. A lot of people speculated, well, they never charged him with Aaliyah. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. Well, now it's being revealed that Jane Doe 1 is Aaliyah. So now they're trying to, incorporate Aaliyah in this as well. So again, I'm going to show you guys the interview in which I did with his road manager, and then we'll come back and we'll revisit this article and I'll read this article. Or which order do you guys want it? Do you guys want the article first or the interview that I did first? Which one? Since you guys are on live. One, if you want me to show you guys what his road manager had to say first, or 2, if you want the article first. I guess since I'm live, I can ask you guys. 1, if you want interview, please. Article first. Article. Okay, so majority say they want the article first. Okay, so I'll just read the article. Since I'm on live, I'm like, well, hey, let me just ask what you guys want. Okay, so we'll read through the article and then I'll show you guys the interview. So it says, 25 years after he married 15-year-old singer Aaliyah, R. Kelly has been charged for allegedly bribing a government official to get a fake ID for the teen. In a superseding indictment filed on Thursday, a grand jury charged Kelly with bribing an Illinois official to produce a fraudulent identification document for Jane Doe 1 on August 30th of 1994. A personnel familiar with the matter confirmed to BuzzFeed News that Aaliyah is the Jane Doe referred in the court documents. The two were infamously married a day after Kelly allegedly bribed the official for the fake ID. On August 31st, 1994, according to an Illinois marriage license first published by Vibe magazine at the time, Aaliyah was 15 years old. The marriage license listed her age as 18, the state's minimum age requirement to marry without parental consent. Kelly's attorney did not immediately respond to BuzzFeed News' request for comment. In the past, Kelly's representatives denied that he knew Aaliyah was underage at the time they were married. Aaliyah, who died in a plane crash in 2001, met Kelly when he produced her debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. Aaliyah's uncle and then manager Barry Hankerson learned of the wedding as the couple were flying to Florida for their honeymoon. His representatives separated them soon after they landed. Her family annulled the union 2 months later. Those documents remain under seal in Detroit. The new charge is the latest to be filed against Kelly, who is being held without bond in Chicago jail pending trial on federal charges in Illinois and New York. The charges include, include twice. Okay. Sexual exploitation of children, child pornography, racketeering, kidnapping, forced labor, trafficking women and girls interstate for sex, and conspiracy to defraud the U.S. So these are the new charges, and they are revealing that Jane Doe 1 is Aaliyah. So if you guys remember, I read his indictment a while ago, and they had listed, like I said, Jane Doe 1, Jane Doe 2, Jane Doe 3, and now they're saying that Jane Doe 1 is Aaliyah. So now let me refresh your memory on the interview that I did with his road manager, because I did an interview with his road manager, and his road manager kind of explained to me what the deal was with this whole Aaliyah marriage license. I did this interview earlier this year. This was January 30th, 2019. So in January, I did this interview with his road manager where he explained to me what happened with this whole marriage license or marriage certificate. So we're going to just watch that, and then, I'll look at the chat, see what you guys are saying, and then that'll be that on that. So let me press play right now.
Okay.
Well, we'll get into that later, okay. But for now, just let us know what happened with the whole Aaliyah situation.
This situation is very emotional for me.
Okay.
I truly always like to just say apologize, and I can't apologize enough for my part in that. I can't apologize, and I can't talk about it long. I can't. I can only say what I did. I did not forge any documents.
Okay.
When I drove, I took them, and they followed me in another car, actually. See, when Lifetime was talking to me, they were throwing words at me, and I had to learn now how to take my time to talk, because I was trying to explain it as I am now, and they were throwing words at me. And They threw that word at me forged, because to some extent it was a bit, I assisted in something that I should not have been a part of. So I ate that word forged.
Okay.
But I did not forge him, and I spit it back out. But I drove, and they followed me to a place where she got an ID to get a marriage license. Okay. And
wait. Okay, so you're saying that they drove following behind you.
They following behind me,
to
yes.
A place. So what you're saying is you guys got, or she got, a fake ID? Is that what you're saying?
She got it was a real ID, but it was from downtown. It was a legitimate ID from a work source, say a FedEx place, and then the other place was a county building or something. She got legitimate IDs to go get a marriage license.
So it wasn't like a government ID; it was like a work ID.
It was government ID and a work ID.
And you're saying that it wasn't? I mean, if it had her name with a different age, that would make it a fake ID, right?
It's a fake ID, but it was a real ID. It was a government. It was, it's now. I'm not gonna. It was years ago.
No, I understand.
There's no excuse for it, but I took them down to a government official place, and somebody there took some money, and they took her ID for her.
All right, I'm gonna play some more, but I want you guys in the chat to hit the like button right now. I do not enforce, or what's the word I'm looking for? I don't stress it enough, and the likes really help my channel or whatever. So I'm gonna play some more, but hit the like button right now. Like you guys know, I've been covering this all year. I've done interviews with a lot of people. I've done interviews with Public Announcement. I've done a lot of interviews where people gave insight on this whole Aaliyah situation. And I can do kind of like throwback clips too. I think I probably will, to show different aspects of different interviews that I've done and everything like that. But for now, hit the like button and I will play some more.
Okay. And it was, and it's so like you go into the county, it's like you go get a driver's license, and I know somebody in there, and I'll take you in there, and they'll give you a driver's license. You ain't got to take no test. You just give them some money. And that's what happened with that, and that got her marriage license. And nobody forged anything. It's their signatures.
Okay, so the only thing that you're saying that your role was just, you were just there when she got the fake ID, or the real ID, but the fake, whatever, however we're going to describe the ID.
I took them to a place where she got an ID that got her a marriage license.
Okay, but you didn't forge the marriage license documents. No. That was all Aaliyah and him who put...
Yes, their signatures. Yes, their signatures.
Okay, so now I get what... Okay, so a lot of people, and I know that you don't want to stay on this long, and we'll move past this, but a lot of people, they blame R. Kelly for the role that he had in this, and they also blame the people who helped assist his behavior, taking him to go to places to help him get this license or whatever. Do you feel like you are just as accountable as R. Kelly in that situation?
I feel like I'm the main fault. I feel like all this is my fault. I live with it every day. And I apologize, and I prayed on it, and it's something that is rocked my world in that way of I'm sorry, and I just what else can I do? It's done. I did not. I was younger myself, and I was numb. I was numb when it first happened. I was numb, and I didn't think. Robert worked you like a dog when you were out there working with him, and I was his tour manager and personal assistant. I didn't get rest. Mm-hmm. So I was working. I probably had been up for 3-4 days when he told me, when I was walking him to the stage, and he told me what he told me. He said, man, we got to get back to Chicago. And I wanted to call Aaliyah's uncle. I wanted to call Barry. And that's what I should have did. But I had been with Robert for 7 years, and I had just met Barry and Aaliyah. And so I wanted to hear what he had to say before I made a call. And then when we got to the... So your
loyalty basically was with R. Kelly at that time?
Yes. Correct. Yes. And then not to take sides, because wrong was wrong. That was the wrong thing. That was the wrong decision I made. I should have called Barry. I knew Aaliyah's mama and daddy, and I knew Jomo, but I should have called Barry, because who was at the head of the where we were at, and I didn't, and I didn't believe that they would go through this, and I did fight them verbally to not do this. But all right, man, I tried. Come on. And I was numb. And after that, I didn't like any of them anymore. Because I even belittled myself. I went out of my character. I consider myself not a bad dude, but I stood for morals. My mama raised me with morals, and to stand in that seat at that time and to not make the right decision, it hurts my soul. You see, and I live with that, and I'm sorry for that. And Aaliyah, and then when it comes to Aaliyah, and Aaliyah was a child.
Right.
So Aaliyah was not responsible for anything. When people blame Aaliyah and say bad things about Aaliyah, it's sad, because she was not at fault of that. And she was.
Again, hit the like button, everybody. Everybody that's listening, hit the like button right now, and I'll play some more. Oh, and my Cash App is on the screen if anybody wants to support my channel. You know what I'm saying? YouTube be playing. And I just got to, you know what I'm saying? Just say that. Okay. All right, let me play some more.
She was a young girl that fell for a charming guy. and he deceived her, and he deceived us all at that time. Um, her mom, they were there all the time. But you can't watch a child all the time and everywhere they go. And when you trust somebody, you lack down a little bit. And they trusted us. And Robert betrayed us. And he betrayed them. And I felt he loved her. I felt they loved each other. I felt when they were together that, when all of us would be together, her mom and everybody, it was like Robert seemed to have to fit with them as a family, when we would do Christmas together and stuff like that.
Do you think that they were aware that, because I always see that they appear like they had no idea. Like, we were there, we had no idea about the relationship. Do you think that, because you're saying he fit as a family, and you were able to see that the love that they had together?
I mean, they saw it. We all saw that they had a little something, but we knew at the same time that Aaliyah was a baby and Robert was older, but Robert was super silly. Robert was, we tried to look at other things about him that would describe his character at that moment to be in that situation. But I even asked him, I said, Rob, man, after seeing things being a little too friendly or something, man, Rob, you ain't messing with, you ain't doing nothing with Aaliyah. You ain't trying to mess with Aaliyah, are you, man? Oh man, that's like my little sister, and so you got to let it pass. And my wholehearted true belief is that, I know that Aaliyah's mom and dad and Barry, they would see things, and even Jomo, because we were always together. And we would, like I said, it seemed like they were fitting. We always thought Robert to be a little slow and wanting to be super smart, and so, but he was deceiving. He truly was deceiving.
So do you believe that he truly deceived her family?
We all wanted Aaliyah to be so comfortable in what she was doing, because when you would sit there and watch Robert and Aaliyah work together, he brought things out of her. He did bring Aaliyah out. Her first album, and they were close. And when Robert writes, he turns into the person. Mm-hmm. When he did Michael Jackson, he turned into Mike. If he did that song for Gladys Knight, he turned into the woman. Mm-hmm. That's how he flowed. So we didn't look at it to like, me and Barry would look back and say, man, they didn't. Well, Robert have to wait. We would see things, but we would think that you had some morals. We would hope that we believed in him, you see, mm-hmm. and we were deceived. And that was just the bottom line. I looked for things to happen after we did this, after the marriage thing. There was no, right after they did it, we left. There was no after hugs and none of that. We left. And Leah went home.
So they go, they get the marriage certificate, they get married. You leave, Aaliyah goes home, and what is your relationship going forward with R. Kelly?
It was over after that. Well, it was over after that pretty much, because I just didn't like myself. And we didn't get along with anything we talked about. He wasn't listening. This is my shit. Mm-hmm. It was no longer, he was in control. Now he had grew up, in respect to, he had stepped out of himself. And, mm-hmm. And I had went my course. And that's what Barry told me. Barry Hanker said, and you just went your course with this one.
Okay, and your situation running its course, there was mentions in my interview that I did with Public Announcement that money was taken from him? From you, or that you took money from him?
Robert gave me no, I didn't steal. I didn't take no money. I took money from Robert in the beginning. When we were down in New York. That's the only time I took any money. It was just $200. And I took that because my family was hungry. And I was in New York with him, and he had a whole pocket full of money and all. They gave him per diems and everything. He didn't give me nothing. And that's when we first started getting into it. I'm like, I was the kind of person, man, my girl tell me she hungry, my baby hungry. Then I got to get some money, and I'm in New York, man. You can't give it to me. Somebody's finna get a headache. Because I was ready to go outside and take some money from somebody. But instead, I took it out of his wallet because he had a whole bunch anyway. And then I felt like he was wrong to me. And then I told him. You see, so that was in the 90s. Now, we're talking about I left in 95. No, I didn't steal. Now, Robert tells you everybody do something to him. Everybody here sign papers and say you did something, but I didn't steal nothing from nobody. I'm not a thief. I'll take some shit from you, but I ain't a thief. I'm a thief, but I ain't taking it from you because you ain't got nothing. You can't give me what I need.
Okay.
And so public announcement. If Robert told him that, that's what that's just something he's saying. That's all. Robert ain't steal nothing from him.
Okay, so you own. Okay, so I'm gonna just back up and reset. Okay, because I was like, okay, trying to take it all in. Okay, so your statement to that is that it only happened one time, and that was way before your departure with him, and that had nothing to do with you leaving him. That was just a one-time situation where you needed to feed your family, and you let him know, I took the money, I had to feed my family, and now
I let him know later. I didn't let him know right that day. I let him know later, but he told me, I don't even think it's you. I ain't say nothing then, but it didn't come up in '95 to say that's why he fired me. No, way before that. Now, after I left him, I still had the credit card, the American Express.
Okay.
And here it is. After that, I left him. We're done. And Daryl, his accountant, knew I had this card. And he said, man, you just hold on to that. Shit, I used it.
So
Daryl knew that, so that wasn't stealing either. He knew it. So they didn't turn it off. I said, I got the card. He said, well, you just hold on to that, man. You might need a little something. Don't worry about it. Because
who's Daryl? Sorry.
Daryl McDavid was his accountant.
Okay, so his accountant knew that you had his credit card, and when you decided to depart from working with him, he gave you the green light to be able to continue to use his credit card.
He didn't say use it. He said hold on to it. He didn't say use it. He said hold on to it. But here I am broke. I went to the gas station one day. It's winter time in Chicago, Christmas time, and I went to the gas station broke. I'm talking about I had my kids and they didn't have nothing. We didn't have nothing.
Wait. So lean back. Yeah, stay to the left because how I'm doing the split screen, the half of the screen is not on there because I have to fit myself and you in there. So stay to this side. Okay.
So what happened after that? I went to the gas station one day and I tried the card and it worked.
Okay.
It was Christmas then. That's just the bottom line. But that was gone from me, way gone. It was over. I wasn't never coming back. But again, he hired me again a year after that. So
you used the card. Was that kind of yourself saying, hey, this is my payment, my severance package of leaving? Like how?
I didn't care. I didn't think nothing about it. It worked. I used it. Fuck him. That was my thought. So, if you got some beef with that, that's your business. And I ain't steal shit, and that's just the bottom line to it.
But if he didn't know about it, that's kind of like stealing.
Well, take it as stealing if you want to. I don't care. If so what? What? I ain't finna sit here and argue about if I took something from that man. Why is it a concern to anybody? Robert hired me back a year after that. You see, so it wasn't that big of a deal to him, so I'm not going to sit here and be arguing about if it's a big deal to you. You see, because I'm telling you I didn't steal it. I took it.
I understand what you're saying, but a lot of people want to know what are the different motives. And that is when we were having a conversation about the different people who appeared in Surviving R. Kelly, a lot of it was they got motives because they have a vendetta against him. The reason they're speaking out is because they're no longer able to be a part. And if there is bad blood, that makes a difference as to the motive in speaking out about R. Kelly. So, it does make a difference if you took from him and there's bad blood behind
that's not the issue with me and Robert. Not at all. That's not an issue with me and Robert. Again, like I said, he hired me back another year after that.
Okay, so I'm going to stop that there. This was an hour-long interview that I did with him, and this was back in January when the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries had first aired. I did an interview with Public Announcement, him, and different, things surrounding the case. And when this new charge of this whole Aaliyah situation came up, I'm like, wait a minute. I did an interview with Demetrius. he explained to me, because Demetrius, this guy right here that I'm interviewing, he was in the Surviving R. Kelly docuseries, and, you know, Lifetime had him on, and he talked about the Aaliyah situation on the series. And so I got a chance to interview him, and once I talked to him, he described, you know, or tried to clarify, because he said on the series on Surviving R. Kelly, I believe that he said that he forged the documents. But then when he interviewed with me, he changed it up and clarified and said that he didn't forge it. And then he like kind of took accountability out of it, saying that he didn't forge it. So, I wanted to, you know, show you guys that. And so now that they are saying, you know, that he has these new charges and everything like that, I thought, well, let me read and let me show everybody what the new charges are, and let me show people and refresh their memory on somebody who was involved in the situation, what they had to say about it. A few months back, Demetrius had contacted me. And he contacted me, and he told me that he had got a subpoena to go to the grand jury. And so, you know, he told me like, hey, you know, I got a subpoena. They got me going to the grand jury, to da 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 da. And he contacted me to make a video about it. Then I was like, well, you know, go to the grand jury. Let me know what happens. After he came back, he no longer wanted me to speak. He's like, no, don't mention it. Don't say nothing. You know, don't make a story about it. So, I mean, it's just a big old mess at this point. Like I've always stated in my videos, I feel like anybody who is going through the justice system should have a fair trial, whether we feel like they are a pedophile, a ebdophile, or however the hell you say the one that like the older girls that's not kids, or herbdophile. I don't know. However we feel about any person going through the justice system, I feel like anybody should have a fair trial. And I also feel like R. Kelly included, no matter how much people say, you know, he should be in jail for this or that, whatever he's guilty of, then hey, let him serve his time for whatever he's guilty of. But I do also feel like there are other contributors. I seen a comment down the chat while this was playing. It was actually from one of my moderators who said people want everybody to go to jail other than R. Kelly. I don't think that that's the case. I think that because there are so many people surrounding this situation and everybody's trying to throw one man under the bus, it's like, wait a minute, you guys are all trying to throw one person under the bus, and other people had dealings with it as well. So I don't think that I don't think that it's the point where it's like, you know, don't let him go to jail for what he's done. I think that is just that a lot of people had motives. A lot of people had their hands in this situation. And there are a lot of people who are also accountable in things. Like if we're going to say, hey, this one man needs to rot in jail. Somebody said he was the mastermind, though. The mastermind as pertaining to, I mean, these are all grown people that had dealings with this. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. Nikki Bowen says, hey, trial and error. And they added the license to the indictments today for bribery. Let's see. I have had enough with the R. Kelly situation. Neek. Please cover DJ Kid who have deliberately infected black girls with HIV. Power 123 says, y'all believe anything, they don't have a case. Nicole Williams says, Oprah is getting ready to do a Russell Simmons docuseries, I think. Courtney says, if you don't believe they were married, find the Street Funk TV interview she did where she told the interviewer that he needed to get an old vibe to get the answer. Somebody says nobody wants to talk about that. Somebody says, where are the 14-year-olds? Joycelyn Savage, Jason Finch says Joycelyn Savage is in love with R. Kelly. Nikki Bowen says, it's sad, girl, shake my head. They bringing Aaliyah in the mess. Your Journey says, I'm trying to figure out why did Demetrius come back if he had a problem with what R. Kelly did. B for Booby says, if R. Kelly is guilty, I feel everyone involved deserved time. But in the chat and the But in the chat and the same people saying free R. Kelly are also saying this man and everyone who helped needs to go to jail. Let's see. The truth will come out in April. People be patient, says Aaron. Taisha Tibbs says the courts are gonna have to bring up every female he encountered. Shayla Taylor says they should all be in jail. Courtney says free R. Kelly. Kenyatta says Aaliyah can't rest in peace. Shy says hi Neek, keep reporting true facts. Lois says mastermind to what? Everybody should be held accountable for what they done. Not right to put everything on him because he had money. Wife should go. Everybody should go. That's all I know. Black Ice says hit the like button. Yes, make sure you hit the like button. Definitely hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. And sharing my videos too. That helps me out a lot. Critical Thinker 8 says due process, period. Right. That's what I think. I feel like there should definitely be a due process. Somebody was put on timeout. I didn't even see what they said. Neek, what did happen? All I did was went to the store. Because DJ Kid is white, nobody wants to cover him infecting black girls. General systems theory. Let me tell you this. I don't think the fact that the guy is white that nobody wants to cover it. I think that there are several people that covered it, and when the situation happened, I think I was on a break from YouTube, and when a story gets old, or it's not like a hot topic, I just don't. There's so many stories that if I don't get to it that day that it's news, the next day that it's news, that's how I operate. It's like other people have covered it. It's already known. We already know that this guy infected all of these women. So, I tend to don't jump on stories that have already been covered in my absence by several other bloggers. And I think that story was all over Facebook, all over everywhere. That the guy infected all of these women. So I never made a full video about it because, I didn't get the story right when it happened. But, according to this R. Kelly stuff, I want to know what you guys think. Do you think that, even though it was 25 years ago, do you think that R. Kelly should be charged for this whole bribery thing of a government official? It didn't say anything about the government official being charged. So it's like, if he's going to be charged, is the government official going to be charged too? I doubt it, but I wonder what you guys think about it. Do you think that it's old news? It happened 25 years ago. She's resting in peace. Let it go. Or do you think that, it happened, and he should be charged for it no matter the time? I also thought about statute of limitations. I guess there is no statute of limitations because he's being charged with it. I don't know. But I want to know what you guys think. Someone said, why isn't Geronda being charged for making and using a fake ID? I don't know. R. Kelly deserves a bit more than being charged. Somebody put casket emojis. Wow. Everybody Gemini says, no, I don't think R. Kelly should be charged because Aaliyah never spoke of it. Lawanda says, he said on many times they weren't married. A general systems theory says, I guess the government official should be charged because the marriage couldn't have taken place without it. Let's see. Power of 2-3 says he never married Aaliyah. Caramello Mega says Aaliyah couldn't speak of it due to an NDA. I never heard about Aaliyah being under an NDA ever. I never heard that before. And then Lawanda says, Neek, look up Aaliyah on many interviews when she said they weren't married. But yeah, so I want to know what you guys think about it. What do you guys think about these new charges where they're saying, hey, R. Kelly bribed this official to get this fake ID. Now we're going to charge him 25 years later. You know, what do you guys think about that? Do you think that this kind of stuff should be dug up? Do you think that they have a strong case? I had somebody comment on my page, and their sentiment was, well, I think R. Kelly is a pedophile and he should go to jail. So because I think that he's a pedophile, it doesn't matter if people fabricate stories. It doesn't matter if people lie on him. It doesn't matter what they have to do to get a conviction. Do you guys believe that? Do you guys believe that if you feel like somebody is guilty of something, that they don't deserve due process? Because a lot of people came for me and they're like, you're missing the point. It doesn't matter. He did this. It doesn't matter if people fabricate. You shouldn't talk about this. Like, do you think that people should not have due process if you believe that they done something? I want to know what you guys think about that, because you also have to think about in regards to your life and your family member's life as well. But yeah, like a person full on was arguing with me and telling me that it doesn't matter what somebody makes up. It doesn't matter how this whole thing is conducted. As long as there's a conviction, then that's all that matters. B for Booby says, I care about a fair trial, but if someone touched my little sister and got away with it and years later he was convicted, I just wouldn't care about his fair trial. Okay, that's what B for Booby says. Jocelyn Smith says he should have his day in court. Somebody else says he's not guilty. And B for Booby says, I do think everyone involved should be treated the same. Somebody else said, go straight to jail, don't pass go. Somebody says, is karma coming back from his years of bad things and thinking? Daddy Lolo says, when they bring Elvis and Hugh Hefner back from the grave and charge them. It's T says, it does matter. Somebody else said guilty. Somebody said justice for Aaliyah. People should have due process. TMZ title, R. Kelly hit with Aaliyah fake ID allegations, keyword. Somebody says, I feel like he is not being treated fair. And then somebody said, people are basing their opinions on hearsay. Right. And I'll stop reading right there. That's true. A lot of people are forming a lot of their opinions on hearsay. I'm not going to say that the Leah thing is hearsay because I believe that they were involved. I'm not going to go as far as to say that that part of it is hearsay, but I will say that a lot of the allegations that people run with, and a lot of the things that get spread have not been verified. And a large amount of this stuff is hearsay. Now, I will not say that this Aaliyah thing is hearsay. That would be foolish. Okay. I'm not saying that. But what I have always said is there are a lot of these things that people get mad at me because I don't run every single story that hasn't been verified. They get mad at me and they're like, well, Neek, why didn't you run this rumor? Why didn't you run this rumor? Why didn't you run this rumor? Because I'm like, because it hasn't been verified. And because there is no proof, there is no backing to the story. You know what I mean? And people get mad because I don't run that. And I've always said, we'll see what's admissible when the trial comes about. Because as you've seen, or if anybody has been watching this, they came out and they said, and like Beep for Booby says, yes, like the video, they came out, somebody said, you get too sensitive about Kels. Well, if you think I get too sensitive, then get your ass off my damn page, period. I don't believe that I'm sensitive. I think that it should be a fair trial, period. And if you think that that's too sensitive, coming from a person who has family members in jail, and they have been wrongfully convicted of sentences, and they have sentences that are not that don't fit the crime. I have a cousin that's been in jail for 20 years for doing a drive-by that nobody was hit, shot, or killed, and simply because they put all these extra charges. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that the law should be done differently. I have family members who are affected by the law. I have family members in jail, and I have family members who have unfair sentences. You have people who are in jail from, I was just watching a case of, there was this one woman. It was a what was it? For My Man. There's this series called For My Man, right? And it talks about women who have done like crimes or, different things for their man or whatever. And there was this one story of this woman who she had got in trouble with the law twice, right? And one of her charges involved drugs. And then the third time, just because she was dealing with this guy, he came in and they found some dope in her house, and it was her boyfriend's dope. He admitted to the courts that it was his dope. He took the rap because he said, listen, this is mine. This wasn't hers. She didn't do anything. The lady got sentenced to life, and it wasn't even a large quantity of dope. So until the justice system gets a little bit better as far as sentencing, gets better at fair trials, the judicial system gets a little bit better in certain things like that, I feel like, yes, people should have fair trials, because there are so many people sitting in jail who don't have fair trials just because, oh, this person did this, I don't like them, so it doesn't matter. Like, okay, it doesn't matter until it applies to you. Then you're going to be holding up signs. You're going to be holding up all kind of, unjust law when it happens to you or whatever. I feel like a person who goes through this justice system should have a fair trial. If people are making up lies, if they have motives, that should be a part of the overall outlook of the situation. And never do I ever say that I do not think that he played a part in any of this. However, I do feel like there were people who had motives who also contributed. And I think that even within whatever role he played, I feel like I feel like he was an easy target also. So, you know what I mean? I feel like he was also an easy target. It's easy. Like, oh, well, everybody already know about Aaliyah. Boom. I feel like it was also an easy target. So therefore, yes, I'm going to look at this situation as a whole. I'm going to look at this situation in its totality. A lot of people only want me to, oh, you got to run the rumors. No, if the rumors don't make sense, I'm not running the goddamn rumors. If they are not unsubstantiated, if they're unsubstantiated, I'm not running the rumors. I'm going to look at it in totality. A lot of people say, well, why don't you focus on the 2008 trial? Why don't you focus on this? I'm focusing on the facts, okay? And I am waiting until the trial so that I can know the true facts. Okay. And if that's a problem, then stay off my page and don't follow the coverage that I give, because I want to cover the true facts. If Avenatti comes out and says, we got these new tapes, they're brand new, it's a new girl, it's not the same girl, it's a brand new tape, and then another person says, hey, R. Kelly has another new tape, and it's a new tape, and it's a new girl, and this for sure is him saying, oh, fuck this 14-year-old pussy, or whatever the fuck the video said. And then it later comes out when they finally drag it, and then they submit the evidence, and then the evidence says, this isn't a new tape. This is not a new tape. This is actually the same tape from the trial in 2008. And it's not a new tape. So when things like that happen, I'm not going to talk about I'm waiting to see what comes out as factual and what the true facts are. Okay. The women that I speak about are the grown women, the women of age, the stuff that I have enough true facts about to make an assessment about it. So if I have enough true facts, then I can talk on it. If I don't have enough true facts to certain allegations, I'm not talking about it, because I could have been one of the ones like, yep, it's a new tape, da 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 da, and then look dumb when they say, oh, it's the same tape. Like, some stuff, you guys have to kind of understand that they need public opinion to sway, to help them to do certain things. And I'm just a person that's not following the crowd. I'm going with the facts. And the facts of the matter is, when it comes to the 13-year-old allegations, those facts of what they have now have not been out yet, because the trial has not been out yet. So again, if I get information and it's new information and it's, you know what I'm saying, and it's something that it's like, okay, this is clear as day, A, B, and C, this is what this is what that is, this is substantiated, this is that, and they give him time, then hey, it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not here to say, anybody is innocent, but I just think that anybody who has ever done a crime, because if I ever go through the judicial system, I'd like for myself to have a fair trial. You know what I mean? So that's just how I look at it. And I do feel like Black men are targeted. And I do feel like whether they have a part to play in certain things or not, I feel like they are targeted unfairly. Whether you think that somebody is a sexual assault offender, a pedophile, whatever, I feel like Black men in general are unfairly targeted. And until we get a more even playing field, then yes, I feel like you need somebody like me who's going to look at the situation in totality. A lot of people that you guys get your news from, that you want him to be under the jail and they feed how you like it to be fed to you, a lot of them are projecting what happened to them as children, and a lot of you guys are projecting what happened to you as children. I was not molested as a child, so therefore I am able to, like, I don't have those type of feelings involved. You get what I'm saying? I wasn't a victim of molestation. I was not a victim in that regard. So therefore, I can have a clear lens and say, okay, well, this doesn't look right. I'll wait for the facts of this. I'll wait till this comes out. This kind of, 1 + 1 don't equal 2. Some people only see the lens from their abuser. They only hear the lens of the person that violated them, and they did not get justice for the person who violated them. So then they want to project that on somebody else. Me, I don't have those sentiments. I wasn't violated. So I can say, hey, I'm looking at it from this point of view. And my message to anybody, because a lot of people who come at me sideways, you need to have compassion for this and that, and this and this and that. I was molested as a child. I was violated as a child. I feel this way because I was done this way as a child, and this happened to me. And my question always to them is, what did you do to the person that violated you? A lot of it, if you think about it, is they did not get, and I'm not saying everybody, but I'm just saying a lot of the times, a lot of these situations where people be coming at me sideways, it is because, they did not get the justice or the vindication that they wanted. And my answer to you, anybody who is on this chat right now, if you were ever violated as a child, and somebody wronged you, tell on them. I don't care how long ago it was. I don't care if it happened. You're grown now. These situations happened 25 years ago, and it's being dug up. Don't live with that secret. Don't live with that hurt. Don't live with that pain to the point where you're projecting it on other people. tell somebody. If you have nobody to tell, try, seek charges on that person. You know what I mean? Seek charges on that person. Somebody says being violated doesn't mean you can't be unbiased. And that's true. I'm not saying that being violated means that you cannot be unbiased. I'm saying that there is a lot of bias, however, from people who have been violated. You will have a case where somebody is unbiased, but there are a lot of cases where there is certain biases. There is a lot of biases for whom did something to them. Somebody said get therapy as well. Yes, in the Black community, a lot of people they shun therapy, and they think that means you're crazy, and they think that means that that means that you're a crazy person. Yes, get therapy. It helps, because a lot of times you have certain family members that you can't really confide in because they don't understand where you're coming from. You have different people who, they probably protecting the abuser or whatever, and you can't really tell them. Open up to a therapist. They do help, and there is healing or whatever. So yeah, so I didn't mean to go there, but a lot of people, somebody said you sound real stupid, you need to shut down. If that sounds stupid to you, then you need to evaluate yourself, okay? Because there ain't nothing about what I said that is anywhere near close to being stupid. I have been following this case since January, and I am very much aware of all of the people who come at me, and I am very much aware of the majority of people who project what happened to them onto this situation. And again, that does not mean that the man is innocent, because I have never, ever, ever said that he has not had a role to play in this. Somebody said post my Cash App. I'll post it if y'all want to donate. But I've never, somebody said why the anger? The anger comes from ignorance from some of y'all who feel like because I have critical thinking skills and feel like because I like facts versus rumors that I am supporting somebody because I prefer to get the facts. That's why the anger is here, because a person can't understand common sense. They cannot understand critical thinking skills, and it behooves me that some of you guys mistakes, like y'all totally twist my words and make it to be something else. That's where the anger comes from. And the anger comes from the people who constantly come to my page but got an issue with what I say when what I say is fact. Okay? With that being said, like I said, Black Ice said people want to hear what they want to hear, and it is what it is. They make up things, like they will make up whole scenarios of, well, you this and you. I'm like, what? Like, when did I ever say that? Like. It just be baffling to me, but I'm not going to back down on how I feel about this. I feel like we should definitely look at the facts, and I think that whatever he is guilty of, then let him go to jail for that. Let him go to jail for what he's actually guilty of. Whoever else has involvement in any of it, anybody who has involvement as well should also go to jail too, if they are guilty of any of it. I feel like the parents have involvement as well. I don't think that Aaliyah's parents, if we're talking about Aaliyah, I don't think that they were as oblivious as they come off and they appear. And I feel like there are a lot of aspects to this whole entire situation. And, that's just that on that. I spent more time on this than I anticipated. I really didn't want to make this a super long live again. But, right. Somebody said she's not angry. She's annoyed because y'all not listening. Right. Exactly. And thank you to my moderators. You guys have been amazing. Thank you guys for holding down the chat. Thank you guys who actually support me and understand what I'm saying. You guys understand, logic. Okay. Somebody just sent me a message and said daytime, tea time, just put up a, hold on, wait, let me see. Oh, wait. Somebody said daytime, tea time, just put up daytime, tea time, just put up a video with Tim Savage and R. Kelly friend and said Joycelyn's mama was messing with R. Kelly. Okay, I haven't checked out that video, so I'll check it out. I'll check that out. Thank you guys who send me stuff. Thank you guys who send me tips on all cases, not just the R. Kelly situation. Those of you who send me tips on, thank you for the donation, King LB. Those of you guys who send me tips on celebrity gossip. Somebody just sent me a video of Tokyo Tony and this whole Black China thing. Somebody yesterday sent me something. It's a couple things that I have to cover outside of this, so I'm going to be getting to you guys with content. And if you guys have tips on stories, not just this situation, but if you guys have tips on stories and screenshots, like if you catch something, if you catch a celebrity doing something, or you catch some news, some tea, screenshot it, send it to me. Things that you guys want me to talk about. I want to talk about the things that the viewers are interested in as well. I want to talk about the things that you guys are interested in. I used to talk a lot about YouTubers, and recently I've been getting a lot of messages on people who want me to cover YouTubers again. And people want me to like give certain tea on YouTubers. So the things that I want to be able to serve my audience in totality. I don't just this is not about to be the R. Kelly show. I will keep you guys up to speed. I will keep you guys up to speed on what's going on when there is stuff like that. But I do want to know what you guys are interested in me covering as well. So with that being said, that's all for this video. If you guys want to support my channel via Cash App, my Cash App is on the screen. If you guys have leads, contact me on Instagram. That's where I'm most active with my subscribers, on Instagram. Like I carry conversations with you guys on there all the time. So somebody said don't go. I gotta go, y'all. But yeah, so that's that on that. If you guys are not subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button right now. Don't wait. Do it right now. Turn on your post notifications so that you're notified when I post another video. And that's that on that. Thank you guys.